All right, well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. We've got another great Geek Out session. I've got a very special guest, my Muay Thai coach, right? Multiple time Muay Thai world champion, Jefferson. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm great and good to see you too.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man, but I really appreciate this. Me and my brother, we do this little session to just kind of get people on, to inspire and whatnot, and just kind of geek out. We're comic book geeks, but we geek out about martial arts and all other sort of stuff.
That's
But awesome, man. So I think one question I've always wanted to ask, and the reason why I thought of you is when we used to do Muay Thai, and there's amazing Muay Thai coaches everywhere. I'm training at Evolve now, great coaches. But one thing that stuck out with you, and the reason why I've always kept in touch with you, is you used to, like, at the end of classes, you used to just sit with your students and kind of just talk to everyone, have this like emotional sort of mental sort of training, just kind of reevaluating the techniques and whatnot we go through. And then also just kind of mentally preparing, like if you had students that were fighting, or just in general, just have to overcome fear and all that sort of stuff when it comes to a combat sport. I mean, it's amazing with the ability of Muay Thai, but when you're fighting, there's an emotional element. And I remember you done that with me when we first done a private session years ago in Epic. And after the session, you just took a moment to sit down and say, let's have a conversation, which means a lot. I mean, I think I can learn so much from Muay Thai coaches, punches and kicks, but when it comes to the emotions, certain people stick out, and you're one of them. Is that something that you developed being a coach or being a student? How did that come across?
I feel I try to coach when I coach, because coaching is one thing. While teaching martial arts is almost like following your curriculum. You need to learn the basic punches, the basic kicks, the basic techniques. So you have like this curriculum that you want every student to know. But me, as being a student myself and training myself, I know which areas I felt like elect. Well, like, oh, I wish I had some support here. I wish I had some support there. I wish I got some explanation about this or about that. So I tried to fill in these gaps. So I didn't get it. So I know it makes a difference, So when I coach, I try to always be present and try to fill in this gap. Like, do you understand the technique? Do you understand the purpose of this? Do you know why we want to do this? Why we're going to this way rather than that way? And because this is how you can develop a good strategy. You can develop a good tactic, and you can also improvise in the moment. Why? By giving your situation, giving your how the fight is going, or which round is it. You can choose which will be the best move.
Got it. Yeah, because I honestly just would talk to students when I used to train in Hong Kong, when I used to live there. Everyone had just amazing things to say about you, just because of that main element. Of course, the technique and everything's amazing, but we can learn that from so many people. But that element always stuck out with students, and they really appreciate. I was one of them that appreciated it. I remember you telling me once just about emotions and fear and whatnot, and just about accepting it. It's like, oh, it's okay. Everyone's got fear. We're all scared. Like, you just said it, and coming from you as well, because I know Muay Thai fighters. You guys have hundreds of fights. It's crazy. I don't know if you ever get nervous anymore, but do you get nervous anymore when you compete, or when you used to compete? Like, I feel like you're conditioned to it.
Actually, right now, my last few fights, I felt more nervous than maybe 50 fights ago.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because I just feel like I have more responsibility now. Like, because when I was living in Thailand, I was 20 years old or something. I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted to swing it, and and I didn't care much about, oh, what if this or what if that. I just want to do my best, and I just want to enjoy the moment. But now I'm a dad, and I have all the responsibilities and the type of stuff. And then when I go fight, I'm more nervous, because I cannot afford to get like seriously injured. I cannot have like a broken, like, oh, God forbid, like broken neck or something. So I am much more cautious. I am much more I proceed with more care now than before. But I feel I also the element of being nervous in a fight, it's always present. It just changed the levels. It just changed. You know what I mean? So it is, it's not like, oh, people can say I'm never scared about fighting. No, it's not even about being scared. I am never scared of fight. I've never been scared of fight. But is that tension? Is that tension of the moment because you've been waiting and you've been replaying that in your head, coming up to the fight like a million times. You look into 14 million different outcomes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're only waiting one.
That's like remember Doctor Strange and Infinity War when they saw 14 million versions of their fight and there's only one. So it's the same thing.
So you see 14 million in your head replaying the fight. The fight didn't even happen. You guys not even in the ring, but you're playing in your head what's gonna go down, and you do it like so many times. And it eats you up. It consumes energy. You know, so very important to keep this in check. It's very important to try to control it.
Do you have any techniques like now that you're more nervous? Like, have you developed any new techniques to kind of control that nerves, be it like breathing or meditation or whatever? Is there anything that you developed to help yourself now?
Actually, what I always done since the beginning is that leading up to the fight, I do anything but fight.
Okay.
I will watch TV series. I will play Game Boy. I will read a book, but nothing to do with. I don't want to hear about fight until it's like fight night. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to get out of this atmosphere, this going to combat thing. And for some people, they like to stay in the zone. But like I said, you stress and you tense and you just eats up you from the inside. So in my personal opinion, I just avoid anything to do with fighting until it's like, okay, now it's time to go fight. Then I will start getting myself into the fight. Okay, I'm here for, you know, I have a purpose. I have something to do. Let's get it done. You know, let's go for it.
Oh, it's amazing. And then when the actual fight starts and, you know, you hear like round one fight and you're in, I'm assuming your mind is just clear now and your body's just flowing and whatnot. One question I wanted to ask about that mentality is also that teep, which has gone viral, right? Your viral teep. When you threw that, did you, at the time, obviously your mind was clear, but when you connected, did you in your head at that moment think, holy shit, that was good and that's going to go viral? Or was you just like clear and then after realize what that was?
Actually, I didn't think like, oh, there's a good move. I think like, I was surprised it was not a knockout. My was standing. I was like surprised that he was still standing, and then I was like, okay, now is my chance to finish him off. And I just tried to go for it and end the fight. But I didn't even realize that people were like filming and this type of stuff. And I only actually, in fact, about this, I only realized about it the next day because the fight finished and I went to have dinner, tired, went to sleep. And then next morning I woke up, I have like hundreds of notifications and messages and calls and stuff, and like people saying, bro, you in Sport Bible, blah, 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 blah. I was like, what's going on? And then I saw it, and then like overnight it was like, I don't know, 700,000, like almost a million views overnight, like 12 hours. So it was that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I see it every time I scroll through my Instagram, like when I'm going through, because it always comes up with different fights and whatnot. It comes up so many times. I'm like, oh my God, that's Jefferson. That's my coach. It's crazy. Yeah. You know, what should happen is you should get money for every time it's showed, man. It's your kick. You'll be a millionaire.
I thought about that. I was like, if I got 50 cents for every time they show that, I'll be fine. If I got $1,
well, going back to the beginning a little bit. So you were born in Brazil, right? And was Muay Thai your first martial art? Like what got you to Muay Thai?
Actually, when as a kid, I used to do capoeira first.
Ah, nice. Okay.
But it was more something for fun and everything, because capoeira is I don't know right now at the moment, but it was something very popular. You know, lots of kids do it and everything, and parents encourage it. You know, it's like taking your kid to play football or taking your kid for swimming class. You know, it's very, very popular, capoeira. Like everyone does it. So as a kid, when I was maybe up to like maybe 10 years old or 11, 12 years old, I used to do lots of capoeira and I really had a good time. But I never looked at it as a martial arts or sports or combat. I'm gonna fight. I just do it because I enjoyed it. But when I start doing Muay Thai, I had a different mentality. I was like, okay, this is for fighting. You know, this is that, and this was the reason I started doing Muay Thai in the first place, because most of the boys had swapped to Jiu-Jitsu, to BJJ, and I didn't. And then every day we had like street fights. You know, one boy fighting with the other, oh, you don't come around my street, and this and that. And I told myself, if I start BJJ now, I will still get my ass kicked because they will know more than me.
Okay.
So right now they know more because I know zero BJJ, and they already know more. And even if I start today, I will still be playing catch up. They will still kick my ass because they will still know more. So for me to even out the chances, I need to do something they don't know. Right.
Got it.
So in fact, the first martial art I looked up was a Sambo, the Russian one, but it didn't exist in Brazil at the time. This didn't exist. So then I went for my second choice, which was Muay Thai, and then never stopped.
Oh, nice. And then you moved to Thailand, right? What age did you move to Thailand?
I moved to Thailand in 2011. I had just turned 21.
And was that because you wanted to pursue like Muay Thai? Like you were serious, like this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like you had tons of fights in Brazil, right? With Muay Thai.
18.
18, and you just knew Thailand was where you're going to develop your different levels of skill and everything. How was that? Was you nervous going to a different country? Like Thailand's like the motherland of Muay Thai. Was you like, holy shit, this is going to be a different level. These people are going to kill me.
No, actually, no. I was super chill. I was really looking forward to it. To be honest, I think it didn't down on me until maybe like the first week. You know, after the first week, like you get hit with that like little bit of homesick type of thing, and that's when you realize that, oh my god, I'm on the other side of the world. I'm in a whole different country. It's everything new. Like anything could happen. That's when you get. But first, all I just could think about was training and fighting. I was just really eager, really looking forward to it.
Nice. And would in Thailand, like they fight it's a different mentality, right? There's like the sparring is very playful. It's not hard sparring. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And it's very playful and whatnot. But then the fight is like every 2 weeks, every week. So that's where you just save your energy and you save your body for that fight. So you were going through that pattern, obviously, to get to like over 100 and 200 fights and whatnot. You were going through that pattern. Was that easy for you? Like, was there like a recovery process, or like, I always wondered, how do you, like, I throw a kick on the bag. I'm not a fighter. I'm not like you guys. I throw a kick on the bag and my shin's hurting for a week. How do you go through that, you know, fighting someone, and then going straight back in it like 2 weeks later? Is there some kind of recovery process? Is it a mental thing?
Actually, depend on the fight. Some fights you get injured, some fights you don't. On average in Thailand, you fight twice a month. So every 2 weeks, you have a fight. So every month you're fighting maybe twice or 3 times, depending on your body. And like I said, some fights you get injured, some fights you don't get injured. I found that the better you get, the more you develop as a fighter, like better skill, you get hurt less, because you also get matched up with guys that are also more skillful, and you guys are playing a catch-up game in the scoring system. You know, like you and also in Muay Thai, they don't encourage too much you trying to knock out your opponent quickly. This is more of a Western mentality type of stuff. In Thailand, they want to see the game. They want to see you play the game. They want to see you score. They will praise you more if you fight 5 rounds and you win a point beautifully, like display of skill, than if you go in the ring and you knock out your opponent in 15 seconds. You know, if you go in the ring and you knock out your opponent in 15 seconds, they'll be like, yeah, whatever, good deal. But if you fight 5 rounds and it's even and it's like kick for kick and punch for punch, and you still edge your opponent on the skill, and you over big points over your opponent and you score him, and you manage to get a win, you get much more praise. The guys be like, oh, really good stuff, good skill, want to see you again. And this type of fights, you don't get injured. You don't really get injured much, because like I say, you guys are trying to go more for score. But also in Thailand, the guys that fight for a living, they have the mentality, they have the understanding that this is a profession, and we're not here to hurt each other. Because if I put you out, if I hurt you, if I have the opportunity to hurt you and I put you out, I injure you, and I will be getting in the way of you feeding your family. I'll be getting in the way of you looking after your children, you know. And the Muay Thai fighters, they have this mentality. In Thailand, like we Thai fighters, we have like a code of honor type of thing. You know, like if, for instance, if I'm fighting with a person and then he's already defeated, like by round 3, he cannot outscore me. Like I'm too far ahead. I just stop fighting. You stop chasing them. You just stop being more on the defensive. Your own coaches will say, okay, enough. You know, you're just gonna block and lean and dodge and play on the defensive. So this enables you to fight often. This enables you because you don't get injured so much. And also everybody has the mentality that this is a job. Like, you're not my enemy, you're my work colleague. You know what I'm saying?
Because a lot of it's based around the gambling as well, right?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, like a big part of it is the gambling as well, yeah?
Yes, it is essentially what keeps it going, right? So because of the gambling, they don't want quick fights, right? Because they want to bet. All right, so when you have a quick knockout, they're not happy about it, and you most likely will not be getting another fight. You know, they want people who will last, people that will display skill, that will fight, you know, even fights.
Got it. And is this something you had to learn as well? Like when you moved to Thailand, did you have the mentality of like, I'm gonna kill until they taught you? Or did you know that through what you learned in Brazil that this is how it is?
So actually, because of my coach in Brazil, his Muay Thai was like very pure. He studied a lot, and he already instilled in me all this mentality and all this knowledge. But when I did my first fight, I went for the knockout because I was like, okay, this is it. I need to prove myself, you know, and I just couldn't run from my instinct. So I think after a few fights, I start calming down more and like feel like, okay, play the game. But I would say maybe my first 10 fights in Thailand, I was just going like crazy. But after that, I calmed down more and everything. Because by then I had like 30 fights, almost 40 fights.
Oh, nice. And in Thailand, did you move around, or did you is it like you stick to one gym, stay in at one gym and just commit to that? Or do you like move around and stuff?
I didn't move. I started in a gym called Kolom Sintong. And it was in the countryside, a little bit out of Bangkok, like 2 hours drive from Bangkok. And unfortunately, the gym got flooded. So where everybody was supposed to live, and the gym ended that. And then I moved to Koh Samui, and I was at Lamai Muay Thai in Koh Samui, which my brother is there now, because my brother now is pursuing a career of professional fight, and he's there at the moment. So I stayed there for about a year, 8 months or something like that. And which was when I was fighting the most. I was fighting a lot when I was in Koh Samui. In Koh Samui, I did like 36 fights in 1 year, 8 months, which was crazy. I did lots of fights every like all the week. I was fighting, and then after that, I got an offer to move to Bangkok to do bigger, because in Bangkok is where you have the bigger fights. You have more chances and all. So I got an opportunity to go to a very expressive gym, very famous gym in Bangkok. So then I moved to this gym, and then I was there for until almost the end of my travels. And then my last 10 months I spent in Phuket Top Team, because in Phuket Top Team they had BJJ. So we moved there, and there were some other Brazilians. I slowed down a little bit. I was not so much like a really strong rhythm of fighting. And that's it. That was my last 10 months. And I came to Hong Kong.
Was you teaching in Thailand, or when you came to Hong Kong, that's when you started teaching?
I started teaching when I came to Hong Kong. But before, I used to teach in Brazil. So I used to teach class in Brazil to make ends meet, because in Brazil, you cannot live of fighting alone. The same way in Hong Kong, you cannot live of fighting alone. You know, they just don't have fight shows often enough. And once they have a show, the payment is not going to last. You know, they have one show every 6 months. But if one show will not last you 6 months, it will last you like 25 days. So
I can imagine.
Hong Kong is similar on this way. So I used to teach to as a work while I was training and fighting.
Did you know, when you started teaching, was that like different? Did you have to change the way you were thinking of techniques and whatnot? Like, was it a complete different thing from fighting to teaching? Because now you're trying to explain like the way your body moves and the angles and all that sort of stuff. How did that transition take? How did you find that?
Yeah, actually, I had to learn as well. I have to develop myself as a coach to teach, and I found that obviously with trial and error. First of all, when I first got in Hong Kong, I was too tough. I wanted to train people here the way we train in Thailand, and this doesn't work, right? So I had to learn to like find the right balance of pushing and also reducing the amount of pressure into the training. So this was my first challenge. And the second challenge was just being able to share the ideas. I realized that the moment I start explaining the reason behind the movements, people get the movement and then they develop fast. That's why many times I get students, they train with me for 10 sessions or you know, a dozen sessions, and they like super good. And then people are like, oh, how long have you been training? Oh, I did 10 sessions, did 15 sessions. And people, oh, how come you're so good? You trained before. And they're like, no, it's just learning the correct technique, learning the ideas, learning the purpose behind of every movement, and then you can develop very fast.
Awesome. Yeah, because I remember my first training session with you, and I remember you, the first part, you were like, let's just play around a little bit, because you wanted to kind of analyze not just like my level, but like my body and what I could use. And you helped me develop my leg kicks. I remember for ages, you helped me develop that, and that has taken me quite far when I spar now and everything. But I noticed that you wasn't just like, okay, cool, punch, punch, kick, kick, kick. You wanted to just analyze me first and then break it down and say, cool, this is what I think that you should focus on based on your body, your personality, and all that sort of stuff. And I assume you're doing that now with each one of your individual students. I'm sure in a class it's a bit more difficult because you got multiple people, but when you do your one-on-ones, you're doing the same sort of thing, right? Just analyzing individuals.
Yes, absolutely. It's because the martial arts is the Muay Thai, the martial art of Muay Thai is one, right? That is technique from A to Z. And the technique is the same for everybody, but every person is a different individual. Some person are taller, some person are shorter, some person are more aggressive, some person are not so aggressive, some person like to kick more, some like to punch more. And you do based on this, on how the person like on the body type and the way they like to behave, right? Like the personality and how they like deal with stuff. And some people, they like going for more like doing more tricks and more skill like type of thing. Some people, they just want to get it going. So based on these characteristics, I try to give them what's gonna serve them the best. Obviously, I always say, like, look, you should know everything. You don't need to use everything, but you should know everything. You know, so let's say you're not a boxer, you like kicking, but at least you need to know how to punch. You know, I will teach you how to do the basic punches, and you know how to do it, because also knowing how to do it will enable you to defend yourself better, because you know what your opponent is looking to do. You know, so it helps you, even if you're not using it as an offensive manner, you can also use it in a defensive manner, because you know what is the idea and the purpose of the technique.
Got it. Yeah, at least you know what's coming, right? So you know how to kind of defend it. Yeah, that makes sense. And what about your move to Hong Kong? How did that happen? Because you joined, you knew Mosey and the Tom and Tom brothers and whatnot. Did you know them from Phuket, right? And is that how you came over?
I met them in Samui, at my Muay Thai.
Okay.
We all used to be training partners there, all of us all together. We trained together every day, like twice a day. It was good role, good time. And then I moved to Bangkok. They stayed there. And then I bumped into them in Hong Kong, because actually the first time I came to Hong Kong was 2012. I came to fight in 2012, and then I came back in August 2012, and then I kept coming back quite often to fight. And I remember Epic had just opened, and they came in here, like Bussy and Mosi and Tom and Ton and all of them. And then when I came to Hong Kong, I was in a different gym. And then I bumped into Mosi in the street, and Mosi was like, "Whoa, what you doing here?" and such and such. And he's like, "Do you interested in joining the team?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." So then that's how I joined with them.
Oh, cool. So you were in Hong Kong before teaching in a different gym before you joined Epic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. And then now you're training at the gym. It's called the gym, right?
Gym, yeah.
And is that just a PT gym? It's just you just do
Yeah,
one-on-ones, or do you have classes?
one only, yes. It's one-on-one
Okay.
only.
And is that based in is that in Central?
Yes, it is in Central. It's in near Pure Street.
Okay, got it. Yeah, because one thing I noticed, I mean, I was in Hong Kong for only 4 years, and I noticed those sort of gyms like Epic and the one you went to after, it's hard for them to last, right? I mean, I don't know if it's the rent or whatnot, and you know that sort of economy in Hong Kong, which is hard to keep those gyms open. But the gym that you guys got open now is going well. Everything, like people, you got a lot of students going well.
Yeah, we'll be doing great, and it's just like also our location is good. The rent is not too bad, and I feel like every coach has a good roster of students, and all of us together we just manage to maintain the space, and everybody has a good time. You know, it's a big space, and because all the sessions is one-on-one, the quality of the session is much better. Everybody can get a lot of attention and everything. So it's being successful. It's been a good recipe.
Awesome. Well, I'll put the link into the description box, so anyone in Hong Kong who's checked this out could definitely go check out the gym and train
Awesome.
with you. What about like I remember seeing you doing like a jiu-jitsu tournament before. I think you just like was like random, like, oh, I'm just gonna join it and whatnot. How much jiu-jitsu did you do? And do you train now? Because I know Professor Kaiki and D'Angelo are still there. I know you meet up with them and whatnot. Do you catch up and do some BJJ? You train a little bit of that?
Actually, just like very seldom, because most of the time I'm just coaching, and then when I'm not coaching, I'm too tired to worry about training. But I did like maybe 3-4 sessions.
Yeah. And then you just joined I mean, when you joined the tournament, it's just was that your like Muay Thai mentality of like, I'm just gonna go and have some fun and see what happens?
Yeah, that's that. No, I'm a white belt. I don't really know that. Just gonna go have fun. Who knows? Maybe I win, maybe I don't. So, and it was a good experience.
Awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. I wish I had that mentality. When I was young, I done some amateur Sandao sort of fights. And after I injured myself, I'd be honest with you, I realized that I'm not a fighter. I don't have that mentality. And it took me a long time I love the training and I love training hard. But when it comes to competing, I realized then like, I'm not that guy. You fighters have something different in your brain to just go out there and just keep doing it. That's what I realized. But I'm training good now, and I've got great coaches, Muay Thai and MMA. And I do want to do one more. I've got one more left in me, one amateur MMA fight. But after that, I know I'm not a fighter. I just want to train and just be happy. I'm done.
Yeah.
Cool. What about, so I know we've talked about, I do want to geek out with you. This is a geeky podcast and whatnot. But I know recently you've been getting into chess, and I started getting, I've always loved chess. I've just got into it recently. I bought a board and trying to get my girlfriend to play, but she doesn't want to. So I need to find partners and whatnot. But I've seen that you're really into it. Now, does that playing chess is obviously very strategic for the mind. Does that correlate with your martial arts and how you think about
100%, 100%. Highly, every aspect of it, it reflect it mirror each other. Every reflect of it mirror each other, which is nice. Which is nice because it helps my martial art experience. It played a very crucial part on my development playing chess, because I only been playing chess for 7 months or so. I started like not last year, like in November, and at the moment I'm trying to get a chess master title, and I'm on my way there. Hopefully I can make by the end of the year. And yeah, I've been really into it, and I applied to chess the same routine I applied for martial art. I wake up in the morning, I practice, I study, I check games the same way I would do Muay Thai. I wake up in the morning, I run, I do my pads, and then when I'm finished training, I'll go watch a fight or two. I eat, I sleep, I reflect on what I learned, practice some more, play some games, do some sparring, and that's the same thing I do for chess. So I've been really actually just before we start the podcast, I played 4 tournaments.
Oh, nice.
four 30-minute tournaments, and I did so in most of them, but one of them I finished on 10th. I was on 10th place, top 10.
Nice. Did you watch, what was that Netflix show? Was it Queen's Gambit or something? Did you
Yeah,
watch that one?
yes, I did actually. I did. This is one of the reasons I actually indirectly started playing chess, because so this show made chess like super popular.
Yeah.
So then all my students were like, "Do you play chess? Do you play chess?" And then I picked the chess bugs from them, and we all playing chess. And then people say, "Oh, if you like chess, you should watch Queen's Gambit." And then I watched the show. But
Awesome.
yeah, that was the reason I started.
Yeah, I've watched one episode. I need to get into it. It's crazy how things like chess, like, you know, when I was young, right, Hollywood movies will make chess players like these nerdy type of kids and whatnot. But now, like, chess is one of those things, like world-class fighters have been like playing chess and stuff, like the Gracies. They've been playing that stuff for years and whatnot. Like, so now it's not like a nerdy thing. It's more like, actually, these are strategic things that, you know, fighters and whatnot are doing and everything. Yeah. Well, hopefully one day we could play each other online or something. I'm not good. I'm actually learning again, but I need to find partners. Like I said, my girlfriend, she doesn't want to play. So I need to get online and start playing and learning and whatnot. But hopefully one day we can play each other when I get a little bit better. But what about, so now I want to geek out with you a little bit, right? I don't know if you're too much into the comic book world or whatnot. Do you have like a favorite superhero? Do you watch any of the Marvel or DC movies and whatnot? What's your thoughts on that stuff?
I did watch every of the movies. I didn't have the habit of following the comics. Didn't have the habit of following the comics, but I do like superhero stuff, and I do have an interest on it. I just never pursued the comic side of it. I did watch every movie and everything. I'm really keen.
Who was your, when you're growing up or even recently, who was like your favorite character that you kind of connected with?
Sorry, on the DC or Marvel world?
Either one, anyone, just any one of the characters that you felt like, that's my guy, or that's
my favorite from it's always been is Tony Stark.
Okay.
Iron Man.
And is that because of his personality and you know, just that flamboyant sort of thing?
Yeah, that's it, right? Is his personality and I feel he's like very human. I feel like he's very human on a way. He's like, look, he's a superhero, but he does like everyday people type of thing. He's not like, oh, I'm a superhero, save the world. It's not like a Clark Kent personality.
Yeah.
You know, he's down to earth personality type of thing, and that's what I like about him, because I feel that this is how people would actually be if they were superheroes.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be like, okay, I just privatize the you know, world peace type of thing. Yeah. So I really like Tony Stark. Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, I guess he makes like normal human mistakes. Like, you know, he doesn't try to hold himself up there and whatnot. What about it, like in Brazil? Like when I used to do capoeira as well. I was very obsessed with capoeira for like at least 2-3 years. And one of the Mestre Bimba, he was talked about a lot, right? He was like the founder of capoeira. But there was all these superhero movies about Mestre Bimba, and I heard from my Brazilian teachers and whatnot. Did you in Brazil, was Mestre Bimba like a big thing? Was he like the superhero out there in Brazil? Was that big, or was that just in the capoeira sort of atmosphere?
I feel is in the is more in the capoeira like type of thing, but is very famous. It's very famous. Everybody knows like Mestre Bimba and always talk about it and everything. But it's only from the people that is part of capoeira, right? If it's person that doesn't do it, they don't know.
Oh, got it. Yeah, because I used to hear about it. So, and in my head, I felt like he was a superhero anyway. I always wanted to go to was it El Salvador? That was where capoeira started. Yeah, I was so obsessed. I went to my group was Group Nagor from where was it? Where did we go? Capoeira Nagor in Goiânia. Yeah. So that's where we went, and I remember I was so obsessed with capoeira. I went to Brazil. I went to travel all the way around to do everything with it. Once I moved to Hong Kong, I just kind of got more into the MMA. Just maybe before that, I got more into MMA and Muay Thai and stuff. And then in Hong Kong and Singapore, like there's so much more Muay Thai and MMA. I kind of fell out of capoeira, but I know there was some. I think if Epic had a capoeira teacher before I joined, and then
I think they had stuff, but it changed a lot.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool, man. So, I mean, is there anything? I think that's about it, man. Was there anything that you want to like just say to kind of just inspire? You know, we've gone through this whole pandemic and whatnot, and I know it's been tough on everyone, but it's great to see like the world slowly getting back to normal and everything.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you took away from that you want to like to share with people on how to how you got through it with your family and your mind thing? Because I'm sure everyone in some way went some sort of crazy, but how did you kind of get through that?
I feel like this the most important thing that this pandemic has taught me is that everything can change in a moment. So I think it is very important to appreciate what you have at the moment, because we're so caught up about what we're gonna do tomorrow that we forget to appreciate today and make the best we can today. And another thing is appreciate your family, people that has the opportunity to have the family near to them, because some people they didn't get the chance to go back to visit the families because like the borders are closed here and there or stuff like that, or even worse, maybe they even lost their families members for COVID or something like that. So appreciate your family, that's where you appreciate your friends that look after you, and be grateful for what you have now. I think this is the most important lesson I took from COVID. Be patient. Do what you can, because everybody can help. If we all work together, we all can make it work.
And is that are you trying to get back to Brazil as well, right? I mean, you haven't been back in a while. Is that one of your things that you want to do once the borders get back to normal?
Hopefully, whenever I get the chance, I would like to go visit my family, visit my mother and my father, and my siblings. But yeah, it needs to be better. It needs to be much more safer, because also, like I said, I have a small daughter now, so I cannot travel with her like this, right?
Yeah.
So I rather here, which very safe for her until it's okay for us to travel.
Got it. Have you been vaccinated? I know Hong Kong's been quite strong on everyone getting back. Did you get yours sorted?
Yeah, no, I did, absolutely. I did. I already did both those. It's been done and dusted.
Okay, and is there any procedures like when going to the gym, like with your students, do they have to be vaccinated, or is it kind of like do they have to have like a negative test or anything, or is it just for now just open?
We just follow the government rules, right? The government rules state that everybody needs to wear a mask when in the gym, and no one is forced to be vaccinated. It's I feel that this is a personal choice. The same way like I decided to get vaccinated, I respect the choice of other people that don't want to be vaccinated. And I feel this is a choice that's just as important as mine. Like, so we respect it. And at the gym, like we said, we followed the government rules, the government suggestions, which is sanitizing, temperature check, checking when you're in the gym, and check out when you leave, and this stuff, sort of stuff.
Awesome. Well, that sounds good. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I respect the fact if someone wants to get the vaccine or not, that's completely up to them. I do think, I wish the government pushed more on people getting healthy, like, food and taking the right vitamins. This is one thing that they didn't push as much as they could have, right? Just there's this virus going around, protect your immune system, but it was all about, just mask and distance and all that stuff, which is good. But at least this is a good opportunity to tell people, maybe cut down on some of the sugar and some of the bad junk food and whatnot, and eat some good food. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Governments have their agendas.
Yes, I think it's a chance for them to give some incentive on living a healthier life, right? Because just no such thing as quick fix, right? Everybody collectively look after themselves better, and everybody start having a better quality of life. Maybe this would be more under control.
Yeah, exactly. And in Hong Kong, you still loving it out there? You're still enjoying it? You see yourself there for like a very long time?
Yes, I was still loving it, still having a blast. Like the new gym is pumping, everybody's coming by, so I'm happy with that. And safe. It's safe. It's solid now. It took me many years to be where I am now. Like I don't feel like leaving anytime soon.
Yeah, well, you built a great career there and a great reputation out there as well. Because I mean, I know you train Mark a lot, and he's been fighting a lot, right? He's been one of your students that's been
Mhm.
fighting a lot. I'm gonna get him on the podcast as well. So it'd be good to catch up with him.
Yeah,
But yeah, you've definitely built a great reputation out there, and hopefully, I just wish you all the success out there, and hopefully it's all going well still.
thank you, bro. Yeah. So yeah, just happy. I enjoy Hong Kong. I like Hong Kong. Hong Kong is safe, you know. So that's a good thing.
I do miss it. I do. Once the borders open, hopefully I could get down there again and see you guys and train with you. I was speaking to Professor Kaiki last week, or 2 weeks, yeah, last week I figured as was, and I was just like, yeah, I need to come back and see you guys and train.
Mhm.
Like I said, the impact of your training for me personally was just the mental side of it. I could learn technique from loads of different people and different strategies, but the reason why I treasure you lot as my coaches because of I'll never forget that. 20 years down the line, I'll remember, oh yeah, Coach Jefferson said this to me because it's stuff that, yes, it was to training, but I can implement it in life, just about controlling my fear and my nerves and whatnot. So I always appreciate that about you lot. And I feel like, I don't know, if it's a martial, I'm assuming it's martial art, but also like a Brazilian thing. I feel like I've always said this to people, like Brazilians are like the nicest people in the world, but when they're super, super nice, they're like a trained killer in the sense like they're a BJJ black belt or Muay Thai fighter or something like that. But I feel like the Brazilians are just nice in general, and that element of martial arts just gives you that extra niceness. So I always tell
Yeah.
my friends, especially in London, like if you come across a Brazilian and he's super nice, don't F with him because he's probably a killer. But yeah, I mean, is that just the culture of Brazil, right? When I went there, I felt so much joy. Like people are not rich. People are not, they have all the money, especially where the people I was with, but everyone just seemed so happy, just chilling and being with family and partying and stuff. That's a general vibe, yeah?
Yeah, it's a general vibe. A few people just they all enjoy just enjoy life, like in general. You just have a good time going to the beach. You just have a good time, at the park, sitting down with your friends, So it's stuff like this, which is difficult to find like in cities like Hong Kong, and like this maybe other places like I don't know, big cities, right? Not that. For instance, me, I'm from Rio, so not that Rio is not a big city. It's just a different way of operate. I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's the culture.
Yeah, when I went there, my coach and I was scared that I'm gonna get slapped, but he kept on making me go up to all the girls and say, "Oh, muito gostoso, muito." I'm like, what does that mean, man? You're gonna get me beaten up or what? And I used to drink what's that drink? Guarana. I don't drink alcohol, but that Guarana drink was so tasty. So that was like my Brazil experience, drinking that, and
Yeah,
then
love
my
it.
my capoeira coach just like literally sending me to every different girl and just say muito gostoso, muito gostoso. But it was just so fun. No one ever, I mean, they were always so friendly. People was always so nice there. I really enjoyed the place. But it's great that you bring that energy. And like I said, I feel it with you lot, with Professor Kaiki and D'Angelo, and even my coaches here. It's such a lovely vibe that you guys bring.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Cool, man. Well, look, I'm not going to take too much of your time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on. It's been great catching up. Sorry, say that again, sir.
I say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool, man. Well, let's do it again. I mean, listen, I definitely want to catch up again in the future, geek out more and whatnot. But hopefully I can see you in the future. I do want to, I think Singapore and Hong Kong are trying to figure out this bubble that they want to work on. So if that ever happens, hopefully I could come down and see you and train again.
Yes, definitely. And I'm keen. I'm hoping they get this bubble going so we can travel. I never been to Singapore, so I'm keen to come visit. And I definitely can pay a visit. We can do some training.
Man, definitely. If you do come down, I'd love to show you around.
Awesome.
Awesome.